All right, Mardu Arclight here for first deck of the day. This deck's like Mardu Pyromancer adjacent. It's basically black red splash lingering souls. We technically have a couple of wear tears in the sideboard for like destroying like rest in pieces and ley lines, but pretty close to Mardu Pyro overall. We got Bedlams, we got Arclights, we got a couple of Pyros left. Hey, thanks for the half a year, Rihanna. I appreciate that. Kazenti, checking in for the 17th month. Thanks, folks. Excited for the new content that will provide keep up the great work. Thank you for the very generous tier 3, Red Mage. Hope you're having a good morning, folks. Happy Tuesday. I'm not going to be running quite as long today as yesterday. I'm planning to only do 4 decks. I need to finish getting the rest of the decks that were submitted built. I've started filling in some of the standard decks for this upcoming standard sessions. Got the first half a dozen or so here, but there's still a number that I need to sit down and work on. Morning Vengeance. Perfect, Frank. Sounds great. Hey, what's going on, Ackline? The Modern Elves League is great. I had forgotten how much I enjoy playing that deck. It's like borderline therapeutic, honestly. I'm a Mr. Jojo. Thank you for the 7 months. I appreciate you shipping your Prime back this way again. 1 month until I trade this training sword in for a real run. Vassal of Hooglandia. Thank you for the 11 months. Am I planning to do some Legacy this week? I just work out of the deck queue, Sal. So the modern and legacy queues are basically the same thing. They're sorted differently so people can sort through the queue easily, but I just work from the top down as far as modern and legacy are concerned. So when there's a legacy deck at the top, I play the legacy deck at the top. When there's a modern deck at the top, I play the modern deck at the top. I think we're actually out of legacy decks in the queue at the moment. Yeah, the Moto queue is solidly modern at this point in time, which, you know, modern's more popular. Silly cheese. Thank you for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Seems okay. It really needs a Faithless Looting or a fetch land. Hey, Danon, thanks for the half a year. Hope life's treating you well. Safe travels. Yeah, I had someone cut in elves yesterday. It was a good league too. You're like hot knife through butter. The tiny green people are still know what's up. 3rd Lingering Souls, no white source. Maybe this hand was not a keep. It was the deck of the day, too. It was really good. Hey, Wobwin, good morning. Smells like Death Shadow, which is actually the deck we're going to be playing next. Jace, Friend's Prodigy, yep. This Gut Shot, probably not really going to have text here. This land lets them play a big fish if they'd like. Imbot, thank you for the 2 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I assume we're losing Bedlam Reveler here. We're still a little far away from casting it, but the rest of my hand's like not doing a whole lot at the moment. Hoping for a fetch or a Manamorphose into a land or a Faithless Looting into lands. They took... What do they have that they took Gut Shot? There better be a Grixis Bolas deck in New Standard for me to play. If you look in the deck queue, I have a I have a Grixis control deck towards the top. It's, what is it? It's line 3 is an iteration of Grixis control that I put together last night. If we can find white mana or a Faithless Looting, we can block this for a long time. Morning, Gendy. So I think I just, so they have two stubs in their hand. So I think I'm gonna draw step, just surgical to stubborn denial. Because it's basically like turning the surgical into a discard spell, right? Because it's getting the other stub out of their hand. They drew Street Wraith, which lets them stub this, but like that's still getting the stub out of their hands. So it's kind of a win for me. And now if I draw an untapped non-white land next turn, I can Bedlam Reveler, discard my hand, because I have 4 instant sorceries in the graveyard now. Enter the God Eternals is a blue card, right? If I recall. I think I remember that's the one that deals 4, gains 4, and then amasses. If so, I think I remember looking at that and going, oh, this is just it's too much blue mana. Making double blue, triple black work in the same mana base is gonna be a challenge. Alright, so we've entered Dead to Team or Battle Rage territory. This is a place you often get to. It's funny, Chewy, how I don't dread playing a day of Modern when the decks aren't all dog poop. I assume I'm losing Thoughtseize here. I guess my health total's kind of low. The fact that they tap the Blood Crypt means they don't have a Team or Battle Rage, so that's nice. I guess they kind of have to worry about if they don't have they could have another threat, but if they don't have another threat here and they attack me, I like to kill them on the backswing with Lightning Bolt draw. We set up a swear jar. Nope. They're down to 6, which actually means I forgot about the Thoughtseize. The fact that they didn't take my Sky Pigeon means that they just can't attack if they don't have a blocker or removal spell, right? I know they have Fatal Push, but that requires a fetch land. If they attack with this, I'm going to say no blocks because I can kill them on the backswing if they don't have a blocker. Match 1, game 1, double red. So, I think with that says they don't have a removal spell. So I think I just cast the Sky Pigeon and give Jace a little love tap here. I definitely think it's better to kill the Jace than put them to 3, because not only do I not really I don't really want to make the Death Shadow much larger, but the Jace is going to plus in the Sky Pigeon next turn to prevent it from killing them anyways, so. Alright, and now they get to attack, because if I don't block, they kill me by fetch shocking, so this is a forced chump block. Hey, what's going on, Inner? 8 and 10 are basically the same in the face of a Temur Battle Rage, so... Hey, the gang's all here. What is Relic's main, Tony? I updated the ban list on my website last night, by the way, after we played it yesterday. Pretty sure I did. Did I not actually update it? I thought I updated it. I cut the relics out of the main and put the values back in. Yeah, I shuffled some things around on the ban list last night after we played. So give the page a refresh for the list that I would look to play after we played yesterday. All right, do you have Temur Battle Rage, or are we done here? Their hand is double Fatal Push. One of your finest jump blocks, please. Am I dead? I'm not. God bless. So they should be dead here. They have to crack this to push this, and then if they push this, they still die these. And Collective Brutality is also lethal. Oh, Tron. Ravenous Trap's a decent budget replacement for Surgical and Tron. Hey, Jesse. Thanks for the 18 months. Really appreciate the 1.5 years. Welcome back. I found the attack with all button, opponent. How does that sit with you? The upcoming set. I mean, 5-mana Nicol Bolas is sweet. He's like, finally a card advantage planeswalker that can make Grixis good. Alright, still dead. I mean, they could have 2 removal spells in their hand. I know they have 2 Fatal Pushes, so they could have a 3rd removal spell and be going to 1 here. And then this Collective Brutality is going to jump up and swat him in the face. Oh, they have a Dismember? That's funny. What are we doing here? Alright, so gut shots and surgicals are easy cuts here. Bolt's like okay. It's not amazing, but it's fine. I don't think this is a Kolaghan's command matchup. I guess it kills Little Jace. Duress doesn't seem terrible. Just like as a cheap disruptive spell. Between Kolaghan's Command and Last Hope, I think I'd rather have Kolaghan's Command. Kolaghan's Command is like randomly a little bit of reach too. I could see Night's Whisper being okay also. Maybe that's the last slot. Lightning Bolt isn't stellar either, so maybe I trim one of those. Let's do that. I guess there's a bunch of Collective Brutalities here, which also isn't amazing. I'm gonna leave the Bolt in and trim a Brutality. Keep my curve a little bit lower. Yeah, sounds great. Let's do it. They take my discard spell, we get to Faithless Looting. They take my Faithless Looting, I get to discard spell. I have Manamorphose to cast the front half of Lingering Souls, just the way the good Lord intended. Maybe I should wait on this because I drew the pigeon. Yikes. Whale shoot. I think I'm actually going to keep the Lingering Souls now. I just like, my hand doesn't have enough going on that I want both halves. Maybe on the back of Faithless Looting flashback, I ditch the Lingering Souls. I could see that being a reasonable takeaway there too. Chat's too quiet. Yeah, modern days are a little slow sometimes. So if I would have waited on this looting, I could have like morphosed into doing some stuff here. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and Duress. I'm gonna play this out too, so my Duress doesn't get soft stabbed. It is early. We did just go live. Modern's light on viewers to begin with, and we did just go live. Surgical my birds, yep. My poor little pigeons. Joke's on you, I wasn't close to bringing that back anyways. I guess Discord kinda counts as social media. Dismember double Death Shadow. Yep. God, fetch is such a good draw there. Without the fetch, these were just stranded as 1/1s. You know what my favorite part about my opponent playing foreign cards is when they're alternate art, so I can't even recognize them by the artwork. I get that the Japanese alter art planeswalkers are like a really novel idea, but from a tournament standpoint, they seem really awful. Like I can't read the card, and you've removed the one discerning feature from the card, the artwork. That's supposed to help me when I can't read it, so it's like... I don't know why they didn't just, like, also include them in English. If they were available in English as well, it really wouldn't be a big deal. But can't read, can't recognize the artwork, seems like a miss. I guess maybe we'll be able to guess based on the converted mana cost displayed in the corner. Oh god, I can't even imagine the commentary repercussions, Maddie. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, your job's gonna suck. I'm not worried about them. I'm not worried about them on Arena. I'm worried about them in paper. Do I just cast Lingering Souls as Fog here? I think I'm just casting Fog. And then next turn I have more mana when I Night's Whisper. So I know they have an island and then one card I don't know in their hand. It is a good thing arenas, and I guess I don't really play paper Magic much anymore, so I shouldn't really complain. It doesn't impact me. I guess at the end of the day, I'm #blessed because it doesn't really impact my life. I feel bad for the people who are going to be impacted by it though. And like that might just be my liability talking though. We've got 1, 2, 3, 3 instants and sorceries in my graveyard. That's it. I'm going to go ahead and grab a basic swamp here, and I'm hoping to find some fatal pushes. Perfect. That's a fatal push and a chump blocker. Let's do it. Sure, but there's also lots of those different planeswalkers in the set, Brian. And, like, you already have to struggle to, like, know what all of these different planeswalkers are to begin with. I guess this is awkward. Maybe I'm not supposed to have played this last turn because now this happens. So now I'm forced to just throw this away as a chump blocker. I could have, maybe I was supposed to flashback Lingering Souls, because I have to double chump here because the Scalding Tarn means this can be a 7/7. Alright, we have Temur Battle Rage. Did it not matter? Our opponent's taking needless game actions with their Temur Battle Rage, so I took needless game actions last game too, so it's not too surprising. And that's how a lot of these games come down to a lot of the time. That's why once upon a time there was a trend where people were cutting TBR from Grixis Death Shadow, and it was just absurd to me because there's so many games like both these games in a row with this deck, right? And I guess it's more represented in my Lingering Souls Young Pyromancer deck, but I feel like there's just so many decks where, like, when you're playing against Grixis Death Shadow, where you're like, well, they're totally dead unless they have Temur Battle Rage here, and then they Temur Battle Rage you, and you're like, oh yeah. That's true too. The fact that there is static text on them that you're going to have to constantly be aware of is a thing as well. Like I said, at the end of the day, I don't really play Paper Magic, so I don't really have to worry about it anymore, but for people that are, if I was, I would be more annoyed. We're talking about the Japanese Alter Arc Planeswalkers. Alright, I mean, this hand's got a bunch of lands in it, but it's like, it's got a Faithless Looting too. I mean, I'm just talking about something, Brian, that's going to impact tournament play, right? Like, the end result of this is that, like, if you're a competitive player that doesn't know exactly what these cards do off the back of your hand, all of these are going to do is just create a ton more judge calls. It will, Brian. Joke's on you, I didn't want spells anyways. It's going to make tournaments go slower because they have to give time extensions for that too. Oh, my opponent doesn't have another land. That's good for me. Well, we're not discarding that pigeon because we're casting it for 4. Alright, so long, Fatal Push. How many lands? There are only 19 lands in this deck. I think we're on 19. 19 lands. Alright. Well, we're through most of them. Caca. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, 10 lands and 45 cards. Give me gas, baby. Correct, Brian. But there are comp REL tournaments. There are comp REL tournaments that go 10 minutes past every round because of time extensions, and there's comp REL tournaments that go 30 minutes past every round because of time extensions. Talk, thanks for the Prime support. I really appreciate that. There's a lot of people making a lot of different stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month. No, this is game 3. Yeah. And now I just can't attack. I'm holding on to these lands because if I draw Faithless Looting, I want to be able to turn them into spells. Think I still need to wait to be attacking them. They're at 11 currently. This is like that awkward holding pattern. Also, like, my opponent's missing land drops, so their hand is currently 6 spells at a minimum. I mean, if it was all about tournament integrity, Brian, we would ban foils too. But there's a money aspect in all of this too. You have to be painfully aware of. It is profitable for things like foils and these alternate language cards to be legal. That's why they're legal. The reason why I attacked with 1 spirit there is because it puts my opponent to 10, which means if I draw a lightning bolt, I can kill them this turn. Because I have 7 power in play. Cheating, Burgle. People texting you what's in your opponent's hand and stuff like that. There's actually a really famous Grand Prix top 8 story about a guy getting a call. It's probably BS, but it's like one of those stories that passes around the circles of people who play a lot of Magic. Like, getting a call, this is my mom, I gotta tell her I'm doing something really quick, like, picks it up and, like, he has the sweeper and, like, hangs up. It really hasn't, Brian. What's your source? What are the foreign alt art cards that have been very, very well represented that aren't also alternate art in English? What cards are Japanese only or foreign language only and only exist in that artwork in the foreign language? Provide an example instead of just telling people they're wrong and you know better. I think we're dead here. Just didn't have any spells this game. Blocking like this plays around Teamer Battle Rage, so I'm going to do it. Oh, I technically should block here and here in case they have Street Wraith. Yeah, they're the only ones, right? And by the time those were printed, they didn't really... Oh, alright, well. Please don't stubborn denial me. Never not. Sometimes your 19 land deck floods out and dies. Again, I think the promos are great. I think they're a novel idea. I think it's really awesome to have the alternative artwork on it. I think pretending that they're not going to cause issues at tournaments is silly, though. I think that's something that is bound to happen. They are bound to cause issues at tournaments because of the way they are created. They're basically, it's like, you know how we talk about textless cryptic command being stupid because it has a lot of modes on it? These are basically textless planeswalkers. That's what these are. These are effectively textless planeswalker promos. That is a fantastic comparison. These are alternate art textless cryptic commands. Survey says elves. Elves with Nettle Sentinel, eh? No, we're talking about Japanese alternate art planeswalkers. Do I think I want to take the Arc Druid. I think I'm going to take the Arc Druid, and then I can plan to Fatal Push the Heritage Druid and keep them off the company for a little bit. Oh, that's a good draw. We did fix the slow chat. You're not wrong. Alter arts that are legal or not legal is always at head judge discretion, and most head judges don't allow alter arts that don't have recognizable artwork. Our hand's not very good at this point in time. Really would like to draw like Manamorphose into Faithless Looting is like the Stone Cold Nuts from this point. All right, another land is okay too. I'm gonna go ahead and offer this trade because I would prefer they don't collect accompany me next turn. Alright, well. One of your finest sky pigeons, please. I think we're dead. These style of matchups are usually pretty good from the elf side, especially if you hit your companies and stuff like that. Like they're gonna go super wide this turn. My hand just like kind of puttered and died. Your draws in decks like this, when they don't involve Faithless Looting, tend to leave a lot to be desired in my experience. It's like not quite consistent enough. Yep. Now they get to Collected Company off the Elvish Archdruid. All right, so I think the play to win line here is attack with Arclight to put them to 5, untap, draw a Lightning Bolt, kill them. What's going on, Dayloon? This is Magic Online with digital objects. Oh no! Oh no! They put a good card in their elf deck, chat. Who told you to put a good card in your elf deck? Oh no! Dinkerdude, thank you for the 4-month 3-7. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Might be a quick morning for the old Pyromancer deck. This deck full of Sky Pigeons might be too fair for this format. Might be too fair for this format. This is probably too slow. For the record, Tony, in case you came into the chat late, nobody's saying that cards existing in non-English languages are bad. What we're saying is tournament legal cards only available in non-English languages is bad. So, like, if a card has a specific artwork and it's only available in a non-English language, that is then a bad thing because it's going to make tournaments take longer because cards can't even be recognizable by the artwork. And then past that, cards that you can't read that have an incredible amount of text on them are also bad. I mean, we were dead without these, right? We were just dead to the second shaman of the pack. This hand's not very good, but this hand's fine. It's got double removal spell, Morphose Souls. We'll bottom the mountain here. Yeah, I agree, Detroit Lion. This deck feels like the really classic example that we experience on this stream with some frequency, which is someone's taken a deck that's linear and proactive and like slowed it down to make it more interactive, and slowing down to become interactive is basically never the answer in Modern. Alright, well, I guess I'm going to start making red-black here. Oh, I guess I could have drained plus Duress them to attack with Arclight that turn. Maybe that's better. Waiting to use this as a removal spell is appealing, though. Yeah, some Elves players play some strange cards in their deck. I'm really not a fan of Nykthos and Elves. I generally prefer... You'll know as soon as I know, Turkey. I can't predict the future. I can't predict their downtime schedule. And even what they post as their downtime schedule might not be accurate. So I'm just gonna work off what they give me. So they're not doing anything, which kind of makes me think they have a collected company. They're also just like mulliganed low this game, so they could have nothing. So I think I'm just gonna flash this back. You'll know as soon as I know. Is a viewer submitted deck or a deck that exists? Kinda yes. I think I want to hold up Bolt this turn rather than play my Sky Pigeon. I'm going to just like play Lingering Souls plus hold up a Bolt because I'm expecting to get Coco'd this turn. And depending on what they hit, I might want to Bolt something. Like, they've had downtime deployments where, like, they're up an hour early, and they've had downtime deployments where they run 3 hours late, so it's like... Yikes. Alright. Well, we'll stem the bleeding a little, I guess. Yeah, some people still play Westphal Abbey. The problem with Abbey and Nykthos, in my experience, is... you can't really count them as land slots because they don't make green mana. So, like, you're replacing a spell with this colorless land, and the colorless land is rarely better than just having more spells. I mean, to be fair, the opponent we're playing against, Kyle, probably doesn't watch my content. Or is only tangentially related to it because, like, the cards they're playing in their elf deck are cards that I'm pretty against. Like, they have Nettle Sentinel, which I think is really rancid. They have Nykthos Shrine Next, which I think is pretty bad. They are at least playing... Shaman of the Pack. Some people don't do that for some reason. This is a bit of a gamble, hoping they don't hit another Lord effect here on this collected company. I might just be able to race them regardless with like another Lingering Souls and a Oh wow, are they gonna... yeah, okay, so they hit this this Scooz and they got to exile my Lingering Souls in response. That's pretty good. Woof. Alright, so I think I'm still okay here. So there's 3 creatures in their bin, which means they can go back up to 7, but I have 6 tokens plus an Arclight next turn. It looks like we're gonna be okay here. Caw! Flying is a powerful keyword. Yep. It does shore up things, Steve. So Mardu, if you've played a lot of Mardu Pyromancer, and I played like a good amount of it, one of Mardu Pyromancer's biggest issue is that it has trouble closing. It has trouble applying pressure after it disrupts its opponent with discard spells and removal spells. So like this game, for example, even like we're just closing a turn sooner because I have a haste threat. And like, sure, sometimes you generate really fast draws with like Faithless Looting and stuff, but just like having a creature that actually applies pressure and closes the game out is meaningful. Like, takes your Tron matchup with Mardu Pyromancer and like pushes it pushes the needle to the realm of winnable, from opposed to just like, let's just go get lunch. All right, if there was ever a hand that could beat elves, it's probably this one, right? Oh god. I was like, do I discard spell them or do I kill their thing? It's like, do I discard spell them or do I kill their thing? Why not both? Do-do. Do 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 do. The old naked Dwinnins Elite. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. That's not the land I wanted for Christmas. I'll make white-red here, I think. White-black? Make white... No, white-red, because I want to be able to cast the other Morphos. Alright, and now I'm going to make black-red, so that way if I draw a black source, I can still cast Last Hope. Maybe I'm supposed to Collective Brutality them there before they can Coco. I can see that being correct too. I don't know. With Last Hope plus Souls plus Fatal Push and like Brutality kills something, I'm probably okay to power through. It could be right to take Coco there. I agree. Hey, Sags, thanks for the 4-month resub there. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. I guess it like Archdruid Azuri here I could die. No, they just didn't say anything, Sags. I assume I'm just never going to be invited to anything WotC adjacent ever, which is fine. It is what it is. I can wait till Thursday like all the regular people. A lot of my frustration surrounding the whole Mythic Invitational thing is that I had incorrectly assumed that like my hard work and the things that I had built up surrounding my Magic content would get me invited to stuff like that. And obviously that's not the case. Hard work and numbers don't matter. to the people that are making that selection process. So like my expectations were unrealistic with the reality of what was going on. And now that I realize that, you know, like it's like I often say on stream, right? The key to not being disappointed in life is to have low expectations. So if we keep my expectations realistic, it's really okay. No, I don't really enjoy playing limited. Magic's a game that has like an incredible amount of variance in it, and I think playing formats where you can lose because your opponent opened better Magic cards than you adds a level of variance that I just don't enjoy. I mean, like, at the end of the day, it's like, it's silly for me to be too upset by it, right? Because, like, I'm arguably one of, if not the most successful Magic streamer, especially in terms of, like, the metrics that really matter. So it's like, getting upset over the little things like that, or the things like that is like, I'm gonna survive without them. Yeah, it's definitely got a big old boys club feel. So I've got Collective Brutality to kill something here. Well, I mean, like, I rub some people at their company the wrong way. Blade Arid. For example, I've not been one to shy away from pointing out the fact that, like, Magic Online, like I'm playing right now, this is literally an online gambling platform. Like, the tickets that I'm earning or losing while I play this event can literally be turned into cash for no penalty. I'm sure things like that don't go over well there. Among other things. So I have Collective Brutality to kill Archdruid here. Ooh, I have another Brutality. So they did name Last Hope with the Pithing Needle, unsurprisingly. Oh, you know what? I technically should plus on the Last Hope before I do this, because they can't Pendelhaven their 1/1 right now. Oh, I can't plus. Duh. I can't plus. It's technically against the TOS, yep. I mean, I do okay here streaming on Twitch, Tony, but like the people that went to the Invitational and didn't win a game, they got $8,000 for the weekend. So like, no, that's more money than I make in a weekend, believe it or not. This does okay. This pays my bills. Like I'm not complaining. This is fine. My job is great and I love my job, but to say it's $8 grand in a weekend, that's not accurate. I think I'm just supposed to, I'm gonna sit on the Collective Brutality for a turn. Am I? Nah, I'm gonna kill one more thing here. And then I'm probably going to Fatal Push this at end of turn and then untap and start attacking with everything. I need to pressure their elves off the table so they can't, like, rip running Shaman of the Packs to kill me. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm just, like, willing to call a spade, and that, like, doesn't go over well. Does this run K-Command? There's one K-Command in the sideboard, so I'm going to go ahead and Fatal Push this Dwinnen's Elite, so they drain me for one less here. And then I'm guaranteed to hit for 4, and then if I attack with everything here and they block 4, they'd be taking 7. So this Brutality is actually lethal then, right? If I attack with everything, yeah. It's one over lethal. They like block 3 more, take 8, and then this drains them. Even if I didn't draw the Collective Brutality here, I would probably attack with everything to force some trades. Just because I need to clear their elf countdown so they can't rip a Shaman in the pack and kill me. Hey, good one. Congrats on hitting Mythic. I'm glad you're enjoying it. You mean you're not making 32K a month? I am not. I am not. contrary to popular belief that everybody that streams full time on Twitch makes ninja money. Yeah, they technically lined up their blocks wrong here. I don't think it really matters. Just like they're kind of losing regardless. But even without the brutality, like they're basically dead. I guess they could have theoretically, if they block better, hit like Company and a double shaman and killed me if I don't have this. Although, I suppose 32K a month isn't even ninja money, right? Like, ninja money's like 32K a day, right? Ninja has his face on the Red Bull 8 and 12 ounce cans right now. That's sick. It's awesome. It's awesome for me as someone who does this as a job now, especially to see people like Ninja doing well successfully and like getting out into like the actual world, because it gives it not that I need the validation, but like when I'm interacting with like other parents and stuff like that, and like other adults in the real world, like hearing like I do something like that, like obviously not at that same scale, but it's like they're familiar with what I do instead of me having to explain what Twitch is. It's like, you do what? You do where? Grishel brand. Oh, I have a main deck surgical extraction with your name on it, friendo. Alright, so they were planning to turn to Blood Moon me. That sounds rude. I guess I have to take that. I'm gonna get my surgical Collective Brutality though, which sucks. Yeah, right? It's like I'm not just here screwing around, like this is a thing that like people make money at. Speaking of making money, XDav, thanks for keeping me employed here with your Twitch Prime this month. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. It was funny. I remember when I was still teaching, a lot of people adjuncting doesn't really pay a full-time salary. So like a lot of people like had secondary jobs. So like I was talking to another faculty member and they were like, well, what's your day job aside from teaching? And I was like, oh, I stream on Twitch. And like I explained what Twitch was to her and she goes, oh, so you're looking for a job? And I was like, no, I have a job, I swear. It's a real job. I think I'm just gonna sit here and spin my tires. I just need to find some pressure to get into play. Perfect. Thanks, Tony. It's a real job. What's going on, Dev? Lord moly pants, stay smart, stay thin. Thanks for the 5 months. I think I'm gonna take the Sacred Foundry here. I'm gonna go under 15 anyways, and once I'm under 15 in this matchup, it's kind of a wash just because I died to World Spine Worm attacks. Maybe I'm supposed to spin my tires on this Manamorphose. This bolt doesn't do a whole lot, so I think I'm just taking it and sending it upstairs here. Because if I draw a Bedlam Reveler, I want to be able to just slam it into play. Make red here, I think. I'm gonna Duress plus Drain here. Bad Duress plus Drain. I definitely think that's true, Dai. I've definitely gotten better at what I do here than when I started. Like where I am 6 months ago, where I was a year ago, like those have all been steps. The last jump into taking a break, taking a step back from Twitter and having the chat be sub only, I think were big improvements as well. Oh. No, this is fine, right? So if they rip a mana source, they can breach swarm me, but I have a chump blocker. Yeah, they have a Simian Spirit Guide, so if they hit land breach, they could breach it, but then they're dead in the air to the tokens. Yeah, turning my Twitter account into just we post a deck of the day every day and other random updates about the channel was a good change. The big part about Twitter is that even when you're being genuine and honest with people and you're in the right, Twitter, the way the communication works, people like to take snippets out of context and like add tone to things. So like even when you're being honest and genuine, people still take things that you posted there and like use them to try and imply that you're like a bad person or mean bad things. Yeah. So, like, I haven't really changed a ton about how I present myself here. Like, I'm still open and honest here. But, like, it's more difficult to take what I'm doing here out of context because there's, you know, there's emotion in my voice and stuff like that. Do you ever worry that sub-only mode can create an echo chamber for my own opinions? Everywhere's an echo chamber. This channel was an echo chamber before it was in sub-only mode. The difference is I had to randomly remove people who were just being offensive before. I mean, like, I'm realistic. All of the internet is echo chambers. Like-minded people congregate together. If you don't think the place you're participating in is an echo chamber, you should really take a step back and really think about what's going on there. And I think we have a little bit less of that than some other places because we are willing to sit and listen to people who are like, say, okay, can you explain why you feel that way? And then we can have some back and forth. But to say we've removed the echo chamber element altogether is definitely not true. And a big part about those echo chambers being generated is there's this empowerment of people hiding behind usernames where like they're gonna be obnoxious and rude in ways they would never be if it's attached to their own personal image or like their name. So like people get blocked very aggressively in a lot of places online because they're just turds. They're just like blatantly rude that nobody wants to deal with. I don't want to deal with it. To paraphrase the great American philosopher Chris Rock, Jeff needs food, water, and compliments. Don't we all, Burgle? Isn't that all of us need? Food, water, and compliments? Wow, they left him Blood Moon against me. That's interesting. So I guess I Manamorphose. I want a Manamorphose to start because you always want Faithless Looting to be the last card that you play. After you've drawn a bunch of cards, give you the most chance to hit Sky Pigeons. I guess if I would have made black mana there, I could have Lingering Souls to get more power into play here. So that's a mistake on my part. I definitely should have made a black mana with that Manamorphose and flashback Lingering Souls this turn. APR, thank you for the 4 months. I appreciate that. Just claiming my 4 months on a Phoenix deck. All right, they discarded double Grizzly Bees. And now I can't flashback Lingering Souls this turn because I... Oh, they have another Grizzly Bees in their hand too. They can't cast Discovery because they cast Blood Moon. That's some sweet, sweet justice. Opponent concedes. Yeah, I was gonna Surgical their Grizzly Bees there. I think Blood Moon's okay in Griselbrand. Like, it's not amazing by any stretch of the imagination, but it definitely shouldn't be in against the deck that I'm playing post board. I don't run it in my builds. We're actually gonna play my build of Griselbrand later today, but ooh, we have a fast pigeon hand for the first time today. We're doing all right. We lost the first match to Grixis Shadow, beat Elves, and then Griselbrand. Whoa, my opponent played and cracked a foil and my client didn't crash. It's just the little things that make you happy in life. Dredge. Are there no ley lines in this sideboard? Actual, factual, 0 ley lines. We got one main deck Surgical, chat. Do you believe in the main deck Surgical, chat? Do you believe? Do you believe? Do you believe in the main deck Surgical? Alright, so we need to draw a 1-mana spell next turn so we can put 2 Sky Pigeons into play. Alright, they missed on Dredgers with their Shriekhorn here. That's good for me. Do you believe in life after Dredge? Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Do you believe in life after Dredge? Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Ooh. So I think I make red-black here, because if I draw a discard spell, I'd like to cast it. Unfortunate that... I guess if I made red-red, I wouldn't have to pay 2 here. Have you heard about my birds? I said a bird. Bird's the word. I said a bird. And, like, this is the part where, like, it looks like we're going to get close to killing them, but then they dredge a bunch of Creeping Chills and we die. How do you feel about Growl Rhythm Stompy? That sounds incredibly slow and not interactive. Sounds like something I am not particularly interested in playing. I think Civil and not Echo Chambers, though, Rhino, is the exception and not the rule, though. The way, with the culture that's been created on the internet, I think that is definitely more the exception than the rule. I agree with you that it's possible for that to exist, but I also think it's not the norm. What is CSC, Inner? Are we dead? So next turn they dredge. I have to fetch Shock to play Lingering Souls. And next turn they dredge the Loam. They Loam up to 8 cards. They play a land down to 7 cards. They can Flagrate, deal 2 to my things, 5 to my face, which puts me to 7. And then they kill me on board. Yeah, so we're just dead. We're dead. We're dead even if they don't hit Creeping Chill. If they do hit Creeping Chill, we're super dead. Night's Whisper into Bolt wasn't lethal because my opponent had a Narcomoeba as a blocker. think I'm actually just gonna leave these gut shots in just for like max linear. Just to like try and put these Phoenixes into play as consistently as possible and like clear out Narcomoebas. Yeah, and like the flip side of that too, Pokemon Nerd, before we went sub only, when we were like aggressively moderating to remove people who are like being obnoxious and terrible, like that has a very negative impact too, like, right? Not only on like the psyche of like myself who's dealing with trolls and like trying to keep it civil, but also like on the impact of those people like crapping on me in other places around the world. I think I keep this. Hey, B-Rob, thank you for the tip. I appreciate it. Oop, where's my dashboard? This is for some kind of post-war Abzan hero deck. Sounds good. Thanks for the support. Yeah, I think not playing 4 ley lines right now is probably a big mistake. You'd mull, you don't know how this hand wins the game. It wins the game by finding instants and sorceries to put the Arclight Phoenix into play quickly. What does a hand look like that wins the game? Like, we just played a game where I put 2 Phoenixes into play on turn 2 and it was not fast enough because that's modern. Yeah, I'm gonna move on to the last one. This deck's just too slow and clunky for this matchup. You can't race the Dredge deck. Need to hammer them with interaction. The only reason Blue-Red Phoenix is semi-competent against Dredge because they're up to main decking 2 to 3 surgicals a lot of the time, and Thing in the Ice does a lot of work there because it sends their board back to their hand, which puts them far behind. Why would the new Kiora make Nexus of Fate better? I mean, the answer is you probably played both, Ohio. Yes is the answer. Will I be ending the stream early today once the queue is out? No, the queue's plenty deep. The Hooglandia community is wonderful. I mentioned yesterday that we were almost out of modern decks, and now the modern queue is back up to like, even after we're done today, there'll still be 10 decks in it. Because y'all are great. So we are no longer in any danger of running out of modern decks for the queue. You often say you can't metagame modern. What is the reason you think it's correct to play 4 Leyline? Because playing a sideboard card isn't metagaming. Playing a sideboard card is just being very conscious of like what decks you want to beat. Modern has always been a format of picking what you want to beat and what you want to lose to. Metagaming in Modern is saying, I'm going to play a Chalice of the Void deck because Chalice of the Void is well positioned. That's metagaming. Metagaming is saying, I'm going to play deck X that's actually not good because I think it's well positioned. Just putting good sideboard cards in your sideboard isn't metagaming. Just like playing good cards and giving yourself a fighting chance. I might regret leaving in the Blaze if I draw a Pyromancer, but Next turn I can Faithless Looting. The fact that I've got a basic swamp means that it's hard to... I can't loot again, Bedlam Reveler. Ooh, so it sucks to pay a little bit of life here, but casting the Gut Shot means I get to play this Bedlam Reveler this turn, which I think is worthwhile. Getting a clock into play ASAP is important against burn, because given enough time, their deck is mostly burn spells, right? So they're going to kill you. Just want to, like, get them dead ASAP. Yeah, people keep talking about the new Green Sun Zenith, and again, it's just like one of those things where I feel like people always overestimate how impactful cards that are slow are going to be in Modern. So this technically saves me a life. I'm not going to shock to play the Pyromancer. Hey, McBenney, thanks for the 10 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I think it's worth it to Thoughtseize against Burn, or is it just a dead card in this matchup? I mean, it's worth casting it a lot. It's generally worth casting it if you know you're getting a card out of their hand with it. If you're not guaranteed to get a spell, it's generally not worth casting. The fact that they don't have white mana here means that they don't have Boros Charm isn't out here, which is great. So this puts them to 7. And then if they draw a blank here, they're actually dead because flashing back Faithless Looting gives me the trigger to kill them with Bedlam. If I hadn't ripped that off the top, we would have had 2 more draws to it with Faithless Looting. Yeah, your iteration of Shadow Zoo is very similar. I agree. This is, so like, people probably want to draw parallels to this with the blue-red Phoenix deck, and I do think Burn is one of the matches where you stand to be better with this build, just because Collective Brutality is a messed up card. Very, very good at converting tempo against Burn. Cut the Night's Whisper, cut the Surgical, cut the Gut Shots. K-Command's probably fine. I think Thoughtseize is better than Gut Shot here. It's pretty marginal either way. I don't think I want Wear Tear. Like, Wear Tear can kill. Wear Tear, if they show us Ensnaring Bridge in game 2, I'll bring in Wear Tear for game 3. What's on the docket for today? We have Grixis Shadow, Grishelbrand, and Black-Red Prison as the 3 modern decks after this one. This is match 5 with this Mardu Phoenix deck. Planning to do 4 decks. Not planning to do a 10-hour day today. Need to get over to the gym and build the other half of the decks of the deck queue that are waiting to be built for the new format. This hand just doesn't do anything, right? Like, it's no cheap interaction. It doesn't have a way to get Arclights into play. I'm going to keep this one and risk it for the biscuit here. Obviously, we need another land, but, like, Fatal Push Double Brutality. Let's go. I'm going to push Kolaghan's command here. It's the one I don't keep. I will likely never be involved with anything that's officially affiliated with Wizards of the Coast, Garth. They've made it pretty clear they don't want to work with me. The London Mulligans felt absurd. And also, like, and I say this with the asterisk that my sample size is still kind of small, but my win percentage has been up since playing matches under the London Mulligan. Like, we've been winning a lot. I can't remember the last time I had as many 5-0s as I've had in the last week. No, I'm not a big fan of limited. The reason why I don't do limited on stream isn't because it's just not popular, which it is less popular than constructed in my experience, but it's just not something that I enjoy playing. Is it Inquisition or Bolt here? I think I'm going to ditch the Bolt. I think the fact that we hit the land now means we're a pretty solid favorite to win. I agree with that. And in fact, I think we're far enough ahead that I'm actually going to Inquisition, and then I'm going to ditch this Collective Brutality and just play the Bedlam Reveler this turn. I think just like getting my clock into play here is important. Yeah, there's also a higher density of people that stream limited, as opposed to people who stream only constructed, which works out well for me with what I enjoy. Looking for some birds. Ew. I think streamers that I watch on a given day. On days where I have extra time that I'm not streaming, Day 9 is probably the one I watch most frequently. And that's because he lines up well with my schedule, right? Like, obviously, I can't watch other people that stream during the day a lot of the time. And Day 9 is frequently on when I'm wrapping up for the day. My buddy Matt streams with some frequency. I frequent pop into his channel. I've given him a host a couple of times after I'm done. Faithless Looting. We went 3-2. The match we lost against Grixis Shadow, we had a razor thin game 2 into a flood die game 3, so I don't know there was really anything to do there. We also died to Dredge, which honestly, I think these 4 cards here is basically Modern. We've talked about this before. Modern's a format where you're picking what you're beating and you're losing to most of the time. So these Alpine Moons and these Molten Rains, this deck is built in a way that it's choosing to try and have a chance against big mana decks. If you want to beat Dredge, turn these cards into ley lines and give yourself a chance against Dredge and the other unfair graveyard decks that exist in the format. So you pick what you want to beat and you pick what you want to lose to, and then you hope that your matches line up with whatever you're choosing to want to beat in a given day. This deck didn't pick to try and beat Dredge, and it lost, unsurprisingly. Three surgicals is not enough.